When Reverend Kate and the team asked if I'd come on Sunday and say a few words to their friends, I think their definition of a few friends is slightly different than mine. A little bit of a crowd here. I'm Sean. I'm the president of Hudson Link for Higher Education in Prison. We coordinate 5 different college programs in the prison for the men and women. I'm on the governor's task force for reentry. I'm the co-founder and president of the Alliance for Higher Education in Prison, a national org that oversees programs like ours. I'm on the Department of Corrections policy team. I'm also a high school dropout that got sentenced to 24 years in prison when I was 16 years old. You see, New York was the last state in the country that still sentenced their teenagers as adults. When I got those 24 years, and I got to that first cell block, I couldn't envision lasting the week, let alone 24 years. You see, it's 2 football fields long. It's the single largest cell block in the country. It's 5 stories high. And when I got there and got into that cell, I didn't think I could last. Immediately, something unexpected happened. Some of the older guys came to my cell, and they said, make your bed, get ready for breakfast, and we signed you up for high school. It was not the beginning of my 24 years that I expected. I remember putting up an argument that I had struggled with school my whole life. If there was any silver lining to going to prison for 2 decades, is that I didn't have to fail high school. I had struggled with school my whole life, but I heard something from those men that I'd never heard before. We're gonna work with you. And true to their word, every day after our mandatory prison jobs, in that cell block yard, they brought the algebra books, the English. They had all these red pens. I didn't even know where they were getting all these red pens to mark up my English papers. I'm not gonna say how many times I took that high school test. Totally irrelevant. But when I finally passed that test, the prison did this amazing job of caps and gowns and cake, and the other prisoners were in the audience to cheer us on. They made it real. But one of the things that the guys had said to me as I got to that finish line was, these older guys had key jobs in the prison. They were the warden's runner, or the kitchen, or the library. And if I wanted to work where they worked, I needed a high school diploma. And it pushed me to get to that finish line and graduate. And as I was getting into my cap and gown with the principal at the prison, I said, well, now I can work in the kitchen. And the woman looked at me with this strange look. She said, well, you don't need a high school diploma to work in the kitchen. Oh my God, I was so angry. But I'm one of 5 boys. My mom and dad were New York City cops. I'm the only one that went to prison, but the only one that went to school. And there's this moment of, am I courageous enough to keep going? Getting that scroll at that podium, finishing high school, there's college here. Dare I sign up for that? I didn't serve the whole 24 years. I was released early. I served only 17. But I was 16 when I got arrested, and 34 when I came home. So when I walked out of Sing Sing, I had more time in prison than out. I had heard from so many people that the only thing you're gonna see when I speak to you is not me, it's my felony background. It's the mistakes I've made in the past, not the work I did after that. When I walked out of Sing Sing, I came home with a master's degree. I'm now the president of the same organization that gave me a chance to go to school in the first place, an honor that I can't even. I've worked directly with the president's administration. I'm not gonna say which president. It's kind of a joke. To bring back Pell that now funds programs across the country. I've worked with other states to help replicate the programming, and I realized firsthand that I'm not formally incarcerated. I am instead an ambassador that travels the country helping other programs learn what I learned, that I am better than my worst mistake. That the things that I did in the past that hurt my community and hurt myself are things that I can change and shift and work with others. Now going back into these prisons that I work in, I always joke that the downside of growing up in prison is that I grew up in prison. But the flip side is all my friends are now the wardens, so I get all these invitations to go back and speak at these prisons. The graduation season has begun, and I'm going from prison to prison to prison, telling this story so that while someone going through the same journey that I have, that maybe doubted like I did that this was real, what I was attaining, could not only get their college degree, but join us home to churches like this that have welcomed us, that have given us a home for our students and our organization like no one else. I'll just say, there are colleges, there are churches, there are synagogues that say they do this work, but wouldn't let me go in their pulpit. You have made this real, this work, my true second chance at life, in a way that no one else has. I'm so honored to be here with you today, sharing this story with you, but also coming back for the pizza hour, for the coffee hour, for the movie night. You have welcomed me in a way that I can't even explain. I'm so honored to be here, humbled to be the president, but also this role as ambassador in a way to share with you that I have made mistakes. While in prison, when I learned to care about myself, it comes with also caring for others. It's really, really tough to stand in front of a large crowd and talk about the worst thing you've ever done. But you have made it in a way that I am welcomed and that Jesus' word has been spread in like no way we could have imagined. And I am humbled and thank you every single moment that I'm accepted here. Thank you.